everyone, this is Happy, the Crafty Chemist, and this video will be about the pages that I finished in the month of June. It was a pretty slow month for coloring for me. I only finished 7 pages, and that's a lot fewer than I had planned at the beginning, but I had a pretty busy month, and I actually don't know that it's going to get any less busy over the next month in July, but let's start with the smallest page, and this one I had sitting next to me at where I sit for watching television, and I colored this one while watching television. It is in A Million Llamas by Lulu Mayo, and I used Brute Funer Square colored pencils on it, and I tried a lot of different things with shading, and I'm actually pretty pleased with how this one came out. I kind of have trouble with pages that are very, have a lot of little things on them to color, and I don't know if I should make them all the same color or if I should make them different colors. So all these bunnies, I liked them, but I don't know what to do with them. But anyway, I really enjoyed this. It reminded me sort of the place I feel like is most home for me, which is the Arizona Sonoran Desert where the saguaro cactus are. I lived there for 9 years of my life and I miss it every day. So that was why I chose to color that picture. I'm going to save this one for a minute later. I'm going to do the color page 23 by the 23rd, which was to use a specific color combo. I need to zoom that out a little bit, looks like. And just color any page 23, and I chose the Coloring Heaven Enchanted Animals special. And I colored this picture with the cute little birds on it and the butterflies. And the colors were a light blue, a light pink, a light purple, a very pastel, a light green and a light orange. And so this is the page that I colored with it. I used Neocolor 2s for the base layer of everything on here. And it does not go through the paper. Well, it looks like maybe I did go through in one little spot here. Not that it matters because they're Coloring Heaven books. There's nothing on the other side, but and then I used probably Prismacolors over the top of that. I can't really remember, but it looks like I've used Prismacolor grays and stuff in there. So I really like this page and I like this book a lot. So I hope to find time to color more pictures out of it. Kanoko Igusa is a personal favorite of mine. Then for Coloring Optimistic's channel on Discord, she had a color along in Gnome Sweet Gnome from Coloring Haven, and I colored this page here. I did use I colored along, this was the page, and I colored mine. I finished it pretty early, and I did use Neocolor 2s and Prismacolor in it. I don't think I used a little bit of white gel pen, but other than that, I didn't use anything else in here. So yeah, the background I did in the Neocolor 2s, and everything else is Prismacolor, and I like this one too. This one's a lot of fun. Now I gotta say, the Coloring Haven paper I am not a fan of. It did go through with the Neocolor 2s, not that it really matters because they are one-sided pages as well. But this paper just always feels so thin to me, and it's kind of some of my least favorite paper. I've only colored one other picture in here. I do like the gnomes, they're very cute. I can see myself coloring these actually a lot more in the winter, even though this has got a lot of spring and summery stuff in it. I don't know, just gnomes at our house are a winter thing. So that's 3 of the 4 pages that I colored. The rest of them are in Tales from the City Among the Stars by Hannah Carlson, and not that one. That one is the one I had already done. I haven't even taken pictures of these yet, but I did color these 2 pages back to back. I believe this one was for a hashtag of Coloring with Kate. I haven't posted it yet. Just been too busy to take pictures of things. And this one was from the Wheel of Prompts, June 23. I think it was dog, alien, and robot. And so I did that. Now, I did use Inktense on her hair here, and I used Neocolor 2s on here, along with Castle Art colored pencils. And over here, I used Neocolor 2s and Castle Art colored pencils, and some gel pen there on that one. The Inktense did not go through the paper, so that was good. I was trying to be very careful because I've had problems with doing that with Hannah Carlson books in the past, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't do that. So I tried to stick with a weird color scheme here for an alien planet. I'm not exactly thrilled with it. I also tried doing some darker skin tones on the person with the long hair and the ponytails here, or the pigtails. I think it was okay for a first shot. So again, trying a bunch of different shading techniques and just playing around with it. Tried shading techniques on this one too. I found like a pinwheel picture on Pinterest that inspired this one. It wasn't the most exciting page to do. I actually didn't really want to finish it, but I did. So that is then the second and third pages that I colored in here. And the fourth and fifth pages that I colored for the month. And then I colored this 2-page spread here with the unicorns for Junicorn. And this has a lot of different things on it. So I colored the sky with Inktense and went over the top of it, and you can see it did not go through, with Castle Art color pencils. Now, it did get a little bit of color through on this page. I don't know why, just mostly the water. The first layer of water did not, you can see it made things a little bit spotty as it went through or as it went into the paper. And then everything else besides this colored area here is covered with white gouache. I used Arteza white gouache, and there's some pluses and minuses to it. I was able to largely cover up a lot of the lines that are in the image. I was especially trying to do it on the rainbows. The hardest place to cover was actually in this line between the yellow and the orange. And then there were stars, like the stars here on all of these unicorns with wings. And I was able to cover them on this one and partially on this one, but not on this one. So I just colored them in as like kind of spots on that one. And then on the clouds, I used the Inktense over the gouache and sort of faded it out. Then I used Castle Art pencils, and I used a white Derwent, the Chinese white, over the top of that to smooth things out. And I used this, I used a Chinese white so many times in this image that I ended up needing to buy a new one. So that's a new one. I still have half a pencil, but I was like, I'm using this so much and I'm enjoying using it. I'm going to keep using it in the ways that I have decided to use it. So the ponies or unicorns or Pegasus or Pegacorns, I don't know what you would call these guys. I kind of discovered that their wings are on these, they have 2 wings on the same side of their body. I thought originally that they were on opposite sides, but now I see that they're on the same side, and there's nothing on the other side for them. So they're weird in the first place, but I used images of horses with their dappled coloring for these 2 here specifically. And then this one, I didn't find a dappled in this color, but I knew I wanted that color in the front. So I just kind of made it up as far as the coloring on that horse creature goes. How I did that was I used Neocolor 2s over the top of it. So the primary one for this one was a gray color. So I used like 3 of the grays that I have. No, yeah, it must have been this one. And I don't see my other one. It must be sitting out here somewhere. It was Payne's gray though, I know that, for the other part of this here. So I need to find what I did with that. Things roll around on my desk a little bit. And so I would make little dots, and I also put dots onto the Caran d'Ache palette, and then I painted over it with a water brush. And I think it worked out. Mostly it worked in circles. Sorry, I'm very tired. I actually did a workout this morning. But I would paint over it in little circles, and then I also brought in my, I used a lot of different colored pencils on this. I used Prismacolors, I used the Derwent drawing pencils. I love these pencils. And I also used some of the Castle Art pencils. And then I have exactly 2 of the Polychromos. I have these 2. I started off with just one that sort of came to my house accidentally. I didn't order it. It just showed up in an order with other things. And that was Dark Sepia. And then I will get ready to do my haul video in a minute. And I picked up Nougat while I was up there in St. Louis for a swim meet. And when I was at Blick, and so I got another one. I used only this one on the dark sepia on this one, and over here on the wings I used both of these. These pencils colored over everything really well. So they would color over all the layers of gouache and Neocolor and Prismacolor pencils and the Castle Arts. I did find that the Castle Arts were better for coloring over the gouache than the Prismacolors were. The Prismacolor just kind of made everything really mushy, but I didn't have much choice on this gray one because I don't have this. This is it for my Polychromos for right now. But because it was working so well with what I was doing here, I actually went ahead and ordered a 36 set of Polychromos, and I hope that'll help me out with like some gray options and some, it should have a black in it, I'm assuming, and some primary colors, because the way it worked over the different layers of things made me really pleased with how it was working. So in here, I also did use both of these browns that I have, and I used the Derwent drawing and some Castle Art because, like I said, the Prismacolors just made everything mushy. I couldn't do a whole lot of it. I could only like color one little layer over it, and then it was no good anymore. Now, in some areas, I did get the gouache a little too thick, and it kind of needed to be colored again. The cool thing about that is that the gouache reactivates, and so I could add more Inktense, or I could add more of the Neocolor and kind of get things working again and make it into a colored kind of gouache layer. And so I did use that technique a lot on different parts of this, especially even in the cloud areas where I would get that Inktense and the gouache to kind of work together to make things. And I didn't have much problems with things flaking off in the clouds, but I did on the rainbow, and I can see that there's a little bit of purple that has flaked off again here. But overall, it looks pretty good. I did use gold gel pen for the stars and for the horns on the unicorns, and I just really think it turned out quite pretty. And I know that was a lot of talking about just this one page, 2-page spread, but I did work on this for about 2 weeks. Not continuously, of course, but every time I came in here to do any kind of coloring, I worked on this for 2 weeks. So it was the majority of my time, and that is the last of the pages that I even colored this month. I don't know if I'll start something new today. I do have some plans for next month, but I'm not going to even attempt to do as many challenges as I had. I got very excited about challenges at the beginning of June, and I wrote down, oh, not there. I wrote down like all these challenges that I could do, and I had plans for some ridiculous number of pages, and I didn't get to it. I just didn't get to it. I mean, I even bought a black Ohuhu markers, alcohol markers, so that I could do the color challenge here, because I really liked it, but just didn't, between finishing up my summer class teaching and swim meets and just life in general, I did not get anything done. I took coloring books with me to the swim meet, but it was an outdoor swim meet, and I did not color. It was just too hot. It was like 100 degrees one day and like 99 the next. And one day I did go to the St. Louis Pen Show, and I enjoyed that. And I have things to talk about with that in my Friday Whips and Hauls video. So thanks for watching. Please, if you would consider liking and subscribing to this video, I'd love to have more subscribers to my channel. And oops, I just noticed that I'm missing one dot right here. Oh, I think I got the 0.5. I have like a bunch of these. That one just does not work very well, especially over gouache. Yeah, there we go. Of course, you always see little things that you miss when you do this, especially all those little dots. There were a lot of little dots, and I got as many of them covered as I could. Some of them are in the horses now, and some of them are still all over the page, but this is a nice magical page. I love it. Thanks for watching, and happy coloring.